Let's start there then. League Pass. This is, if you're not watching City, if you're not watching Liverpool in our cases, what are the top teams to watch? And I think that there's a bunch of different ways you can go about this. And my first pick, we've mentioned them the past couple of weeks. It's got to be Brighton. Goals aplenty. Goals for, goals against. De Zerbi's crazy. You never know who the next wonder kid is. Just an absolute great team to watch, fun team to watch, and you just don't know what's going to happen. 28 goals for, 23 goals given up. It's insane. So my number one pick, Brighton.
All right. In the same vein of watching an exciting team, probably not as exciting, but I think they have two insanely exciting players to watch. Ollie Watkins, Moussa Diaby. I got to go Villa.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit better than Brighton is right now, especially like the home record is crazy. But they play transition sometimes. Sometimes they'll play a little bit in possession with the press. I think the defense is solid. I think the midfield they're always running around. Douglas Luiz, again, I already forgot about him. He's unbelievable. I think they got a lot of individual talent, and I think they're just an exciting team to watch.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick, too, because you get to watch the Unai show. Like, we've talked about it on this week's pod. He may be the third best coach in the Premier League. What are the heights that they can reach? Plus, I'm a close personal friend to Wes Edens, owner of Aston Villa, as well chronicled on this pod before. All right, since it's two people we're not snaking, we're just going to go back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine.
My second pick, and all jokes aside, but I think it is a great story. I think right now you got to watch United. And you got to watch United because it is an absolute dumpster fire at times. You got to watch United because, as we saw today, we're recording this on Wednesday, Andre Onana, sometimes a good keeper, sometimes might as well not even be playing professional soccer. You never know. And I think much like the storyline of, hey, what are the heights that Aston Villa can get to? What are the depths that this Man United team can get to? And how far off the perch of the greatest team in England can they fall? And I love stories.
So strictly storytelling, you want United.
I mean, it's not for the quality of soccer, that's for sure.
Okay. I'm fine with you. I do not enjoy watching them, but that's, teach their own.
Yeah.
This is not going to make a ton of sense by how we're speaking right now, but I will say the next, obviously Liverpool won, probably, but I just end up watching like Newcastle or Villa a lot for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched a fair few Bournemouth games, and let me tell you, I do enjoy it. It's the TV angle at the home stadium, home field, pitch, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember I thought I knew what it was called, but I thought it would come to me and it didn't. All I can think about is Craven Cottage, and that's Fulham, I know. And I was just like,
the Vitality.
The Vitality. That's right.
Yeah.
The weird angle there, there's like a similar one at Crystal Palace too. It's just like closer down to the field. It's just interesting. And when they play, like they did last week, they're prime Barcelona. They look great. I think Solanke's great. I think Semenyo is an exciting player. Billing is a great midfielder. Defense is a little shaky, which always, it's going to be exciting because might give up goals, going to force them to go score some. I got Bournemouth, man. I'm a season pass Bournemouth guy.
Not since two brothers named Tucker has there been a bigger impact on this podcast than our good friend Craig. And I'm pretty sure Craig has no idea that he comes up every podcast.
It's actually getting to a creepy degree. We need to probably stop doing it.
I think we need to chill out. I like that pick. Bournemouth's usually up there. Like, it's kind of one of those things, again, since we had that great conversation with him in the offseason, I don't want him to fail. I want him to succeed.
Yeah,
so that's kind of the same mindset I am there. All right. My last pick. No one else besides us is really going to feel this way. because no one else does a podcast with this person except for me. So I guess I'm picking both the Tucker teams here, which is kind of crazy. I like watching Wolves. I like being able to talk to Dylan about his team, one. But two, they are the most Jekyll and Hyde scenario ever. Beginning of this year, couldn't buy a goal. Defense was solid. Now, they're kind of scoring for fun, but leaking goals here, left, right, and center. I wanted to see them stay up. We thought they might go down. I think they're obviously safe now. But, also the Gary O'Neill scenario. Again, I love a storyline. So, him getting the boot from Bournemouth and now being above them in the table, interesting. So I always keep an eye on them, too. Wolves, also Pedro Neto. You can't take your eyes off him. He's having just an incredible season. So I think Wolves is my third.
All right. I have three teams still written down here just in case, obviously if you took them. I was going to pick, obviously, another team that's exciting to watch. Tough to pick Arsenal, even though they are beating Lyon 4-0 right now, which they usually don't put a ton of goals past you. Obviously, the Brentford game was 1-0. The game against you guys was 1-0. They're very, very sturdy defensively. Not super fun to watch. So right now, I'm going injury-ridden Spurs League Pass because they have four wingbacks, 3 wingbacks and Ben Davies across the back four. That refuse to play Eric Dyer. Vicario's still a really good keeper, so obviously keeps him in it. But that Villa game was end to end, and for 35 minutes they looked crazy. It looked like they could just win like that anyway without Maddison. They're obviously still league pass with James Maddison, with Mickey Van de Ven back and stuff like that. But right now it
Son.
is just and just not changing how they play. So it's gonna be 3, 4, 5 total goals in those games every time, pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna go there. If you didn't, I was gonna say, hey, look, if we're being honest, honorable mention has to be Spurs. Just has to be.
Do you want to guess the other 2 names I had down?
Did you not have Arsenal then?
No.
Okay, so I would have guessed Newcastle, but you mentioned them before, so you may not have had them. I didn't know if that was going to be one. Normally, I think it's Brentford. This year, not so much. Normally, I think it's Brentford.
I had Everton.
Just praying for their demise?
No, because actually they are a team that makes so many chances and cannot possibly score a goal that it's even if you don't like them, which I obviously don't love them, but when you watch people just miss 3-4 yards out, at some point you're just oh Jesus, they have to score. Come on.
Yeah, surely.
It almost just becomes entertaining and funny.
Yeah. I think that's a great reason to watch a team. So those are the honorable mentions there for sure. So what we do? I did Brighton 1. You did. Who's your 2?
Villa.
Brighton, Villa, United, Bournemouth.
Wolves, Spurs.
Man, Wolves, Spurs. The brain is leaving me today. I apologize. Midday.
That's all right.
Midday pod.
We got a long way to go.